Hello all, and thank you for stopping by. It's been a little while since I put out an update, really since before surgery. I did the last kind of day in the life type video I did was after the Collins Cup and before I went in for a quick meniscus surgery. So I thought I would fix that this week and give a little bit of an update, explain where I'm at with training, and then really spend most of this video talking about how I'm going to go about building my run progression in and hopefully moving that forward as quickly and safely as possible. So that's what this video is going to talk about. If you have liked what I've been doing, please help me out. It's free. All you have to do is hit the little thumbs up tab below. That helps a lot more people see this, and it also kind of helps give me the direction that you guys want to see this channel grow into as well. So without further ado, quick training update, I guess. So I did have my medial meniscus on my right knee, part of it removed. Only actually about 10% of it was torn and removed, but there was essentially 2 tears in it, and it had flapped over. So it was basically like I've been running with a pebble in my joint line, my medial joint line, since the crash at St. George in May. And when there was a little bit of inflammation, or a lot more inflammation in the knee, it actually hurt a lot less, and I was able to get through some workouts without too much issue. But as that inflammation would go away, the pain would come up, and it would cause me to be limping and cause issues other places. And obviously, that's what I was dealing with in the last couple weeks leading into the Collins Cup. I got really excited because for the first time in almost 3 months, the swelling had gone completely out of my knee. It looked normal. I was having good runs leading up to that, but as soon as kind of that swelling went away, that's when the meniscus started barking at me again and causing quite a few issues. I shut it down hoping that I would be okay to get through the race, and unfortunately just wasn't able to have the day that I wanted there. Part of it was obviously not related to the knee, but obviously going in and spending a lot of time over the summer limping had caused some issues with the low back, and I've struggled with the low back throughout my career, and so that just didn't set the stage to hold the great position and hold really high bike power either. And so, I just didn't have the day that I wanted there. So immediately when I got done, the decision was made to go ahead and have surgery. I had tried to go the conservative route. I took time off immediately after it happened. It flared up again. I took a little bit more time off. That didn't help it go away. And then the beginning of July, I actually had PRP injections and took some more time off there. That unfortunately didn't resolve the issue either. So that essentially led to the only other remaining option, which was to go ahead and have surgery. Hindsight 2020, I should have done this May 2nd or as soon as I could have right after it happened. Since the day I had surgery, I haven't been in a bit of pain. The swelling has gone for the most part away. I would say about 95% of that is gone. It still has some swelling lingering in there, but it definitely feels way better than it has all summer. So I was able to get on the bike I think I got on the bike 2 days after surgery and spun for 20 minutes at, very, very easy. And that was mainly just to get moving, at not a workout, but just to try to get that area moving and get some of the inflammation out of there. A little bit is good, but obviously as you return, controlling the inflammation is the biggest part of it. So that was day 2 or 3. And then I just slowly built up from there. The first 10 days, we were respecting the trauma that, obviously there was no pain, but there was still a little bit of inflammation. And when you have a scope, they're jamming those things in there pretty aggressively, and they're not the most gentle to make the initial incisions and things like that. So while I was feeling great, we still had to respect what had just gone on and not moved things too much too fast. So I went 10 days without going above 50% of my FTP, just really spinning easy. But the good thing is talking to the doctors and talking to the PTs, they were like, yeah, spin all you want. And so I was able to go up to a couple of hours, and then of just easy spinning, and at least, get my, feel like I'm doing something, feel like I'm being an athlete on the day. As soon as the incisions healed up, about 7 days, I was able to get in the pool again, had no issues pushing off the wall, which is really fortunate. Like I said, they only took a small portion of the medial meniscus out. They didn't have to sew it, which was great. I was really concerned about that because if they sew it, that really slows down the healing process, and we're talking months instead of weeks for any return to activity, regular sort of activity there. And so I was happy with that, happy with how the surgery went. I'm back to 100% full swimming. I did a few intervals today at 70.3 race pace, which felt awful. I am definitely out of shape. My heart rate was, I think I set my second highest 20-minute heart rate today, and my workout was like 4 by 5 minutes with 1 minute in between at 70.3 pace. So I definitely have some work to do, but that's okay. We are moving along. It felt good to put some hard intervals in and get a good sweat going out on the bike. I've gone outside a couple times, but primarily I've been staying indoors on the bike to control the power and just to stay in a controlled environment. But I'm definitely at the point where I can start venturing outside a little bit more now. I plan on doing about a 3-hour ride tomorrow outside, which will be great just to get out and enjoy the nice fall weather that we're having. I'll probably head up to Boulder and do that one up there. So the main focus of this video, I really wanted it to be about how I'm going to approach the return to run protocol. And I'm in a pretty good situation. I'm very fortunate to be completely honest with you, because I have a fantastic treadmill, the Techno Gym Skill Run 7000. I have that access here in my basement that I can use every day. And then obviously I also have the lever, which can help do some de-weighted running or reduce the impact, so I can run at a set percentage of my body weight. And that makes it a lot easier, a lot cheaper for me in the long run than having to go and pay however $1 a minute to run on an Alter G or something like that. But the great thing about the Techno Gym Skill Run 7000, and a couple of their other models are doing this now too, but it helps measure stride length and foot contact time. And that's really important for me right now. I mentioned before that I've been having these, I've been essentially running with a limp all summer. And if you go through some of my Instagram videos that I released, especially the later ones leading into the Collins Cup or during, you can definitely see it if you pay attention. And every time I see it, it makes me cringe a little bit, because that's not my normal stride. The problem with that is not just that you're running with a limp to guard your knee, but that causes a lot of other issues to go on further up the chain, right? So if you're favoring one side, that has to be compensated somewhere else. And so basically I'm healthy enough from my knee standpoint to return to run right away. And if I would have actually gotten this surgery right after the initial injury rather than trying to go the conservative route, I'm not saying that I shouldn't have. The conservative route probably was the right call. Obviously looking back and knowing now that it didn't work, it's frustrating to have lost so much time because of that. But avoiding surgery is usually a better option than just being, throw me under the knife. Since I spent the bulk of the summer running with a limp and basically causing this big knot and imbalance and inhibition in the hip and pelvis and low back area, I need to spend an appropriate amount of time unwinding that and not just rushing back. So I could go back. I don't have to necessarily worry about my knee injury right now, but what I need to do is worry long-term about not developing further issues because I'm not running completely even. So first, I'm doing this by addressing this. I spend a little bit more time out of running than I probably had to to work with PT and strength, doing a lot of activity and a lot of drills and things like that to make sure that the firing patterns are appropriate and things are working the way that they're supposed to be. And the strength is there with all the supporting muscles around the hip and the knee region, and basically to make sure that that has reset before trying to return to run. Now, again, as I'm returning to run, the great thing about the Techno Gym's the Skill Run 7000 is that it has left-right balance and the and cadence and stride length biometrics. And so what I can do is monitor that while I'm running and while I'll be starting running with the lever. So at a reduced body weight, I can use those two things to help figure out where I should be at specifically, rather than just guessing or going by some cookie cutter program. So what I'm going to be doing is starting de-weighted and basically ensuring that I'm running with the same stride length on both sides and the same left-right balance or foot strike or foot time, contact time, as I'm trying to progress. So I'll start very conservatively, probably with about 50% of my body weight taken off, and this is hopefully going to be Monday. And then I'm going to progress, but I'm going to use that balance and those biometrics that the Skill Run 7000 can give me in order to guide the progress, rather than just hoping and assuming that I'm going to be able to progress in a linear fashion. I might be, take 5 steps forward and then have to take 1 or 2 back as I kind of reset things or as some fatigue sets in. And so what I'm going to do is monitor these biometrics that I can get with this treadmill and use that to really guide things and make sure that I'm going about that the right way. I would love to get back on the start line as quickly as I possibly can, but next year, I've got some big goals, right? The number one goal of this year didn't even happen. I was all in for the Ironman World Championships this year, but that unfortunately got kicked to May. But that creates a great opportunity for me to be patient and to go about making sure that I am back to 100%, because I have some big things in store for the year, and having 2 world championships in 1 year is going to be a great opportunity. But it's also going to mean I'm going to have to do a minimum of 3 Ironmans, and so I have to be 100% healthy leading into this block of training for those races. I'll beyond those 3 races, the 2 world championships, and then at least the one, hopefully only one qualifying race, I'll definitely be, hopefully be in the mix for the Collins Cup again. There's rumor of a PTO US Open that could be happening next year. So that would be fantastic to be a part of. There's other big races that I want to be able to be a part of, but I have to set that foundation and be a little bit more patient than I really want to be right now, to make sure that I can go into next year and have the injury-free, or to at least give myself the best chance of possible to remain injury-free during these big races that I really want to be targeting for next year. So that's all I have for you this time. Thanks for making it all the way to the end. I'll be putting out a few updates as I go throughout the recovery process and keep you all informed with how this is going. Again, if you can help me out and hit the like button on the way out, that would be appreciated. We'll see you next time.